Here's why Chainlink could hit 10k in the next 10 years. Let's discuss it. It's 2021 and as we're all aware by now, the bull run is in full force. Huge gains are being made all over the crypto space, with many of the top cryptocurrencies hitting well over 10x gains since the lows of March. Bitcoin has seen at least 10x gains since March, while Ethereum has hit more than a 20x until a recent correction in the market. It seems likely that the gains will continue for the majority of this year until a final parabolic run-up in the last few months of the year before a bear market is likely to be triggered. In the long term, it seems incredibly likely that the crypto space will continue to see increased adoption because of recent institutional investment. And once further regulatory clarity is confirmed for many projects in the space, the on-ramps for a huge adoption and integration of the cryptocurrency in the future will become increasingly likely. The legitimacy of the crypto space increases every day as the market becomes larger through a massive influx of capital. Integration is the reason we believe that in the future Chainlink could reach a valuation of $10,000 per token, and in this video we'll discuss the reasons why this is possible in the future. Make sure to watch the video till the end for all the essential information. This is not financial advice and is for entertainment purposes only. We always stress that you do your own due diligence. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. Chainlink's protocol was designed with a very particular use case, which is one of the reasons we're so bullish on it. This use case for Chainlink aims to solve one of the key issues with blockchain technology, which is actually caused by its greatest benefit. As standard, blockchain technology is a closed loop from outside data and is verified through a consensus mechanism that operates on-chain. The blocks are verified, and once this is done, the data cannot be altered. This entire process is done within the blockchain, which means there are no outside influences on the outcome of a block, which stores all the data relevant to a particular blockchain. This means that blockchain technology is incredibly secure and accurate, with history of transactions being verified by various users on the network. This means data cannot be adulterated. However, because of the closed loop nature of the blockchain, this means outside data cannot be brought onto the blockchain natively, and if this was possible, a massive amount of utility that is provided by blockchain technology could be unlocked with external data feeds. Through the use of Oracle technology, which uses in and out ports, Chainlink achieves this process. This unlocks a massive amount of power and possibilities with the networks associated. When you start to consider the sheer amount of potential and possibilities for technological innovation using a combination of real-world data feeds and Chainlink, it becomes obvious that Chainlink is positioning itself as a key player in the cryptocurrency space in the future, especially with recent integrations with banks for their stablecoin technology. And this is the focus of today's video, which is integration. In February 2021 alone, Chainlink announced that they've partnered with another 33 projects, which brings the entirety of that integrated network to well over 300 projects, including 181 DeFi projects, 80 blockchains, 37 data providers, 31 projects using Chainlink's VRF, 22 gaming projects, and 11 payment protocols. When you take a look at those numbers, you start to realize the exact reason why we're so bullish on Chainlink on this channel. Not only has Chainlink solidified itself as a top 10 cryptocurrency in this space to date, but it's also growing a massive network of partners that rely on Chainlink's Oracle technology to provide utility on their platforms as well. When you consider Metcalfe's law, which is the value of the network as the number of participants squared, the potential on Chainlink is truly massive. This essentially means that the number of members of a network exponentially increases the value of the network overall, which is why Chainlink has an incredible amount of potential in the future. For these protocols to function, they will need to hold a certain amount of Chainlink in order to access the utility of the network, and as all the integrated projects grow in value, the amount of Chainlink required will also increase dramatically. With the sheer number of projects now relying on Chainlink's technology to function, and the number of projects that are using them will likely increase into the future, the network effect for Chainlink could be substantial. With over 300 integrations already, and with this likely to rise into the thousands as the space grows, the potential of Chainlink is unbelievable, with an exponential increase in price seeming more of a question of when than if. Chainlink's Oracle technology has almost single-handedly ushered in a new era into the cryptocurrency space, which is DeFi. DeFi absolutely exploded onto the scene in the summer of 2020 with solutions for centralized finance utilities, such as DEXs or decentralized exchanges, stablecoins, money lending and loan collateralization, yield farming, and other utilities. DeFi is essentially attempting to replicate versions of centralized finance technology but in a decentralized manner. This means that all the utility that these systems provided can be accessed, but without many of the drawbacks that centralized finance provides. For example, collateralized loans are approved instantly providing you have sufficient cryptocurrency as collateral, and it's commonly known in that in centralized finance banks are very stringent about giving out loans in the first place, based on many arbitrary systems such as credit scores. All the hoops that have to be jumped through in centralized circumstances due to regulations that banks have to adhere to make many of the systems long and difficult to use, but this isn't the case with DeFi. Another great example of DeFi's utility is being able to connect your wallet directly and anonymously to a DEX and swap tokens with no account required. This sort of utility is invaluable because, as well known in the modern era, you are the product. If you don't have to hand over any of your personal information to use these systems, it gives a huge amount of power back to the individual. Many DeFi protocols have seen massive growth in the past year since its explosion onto the scene, and it looks as though this phenomenon is only set to continue into the future. This will benefit Chainlink as a result due to its integration with all these projects. Because of their live data feeds, Chainlink essentially allowed this ecosystem to function. This shows the power of Chainlink, and the power of this ecosystem in the future is immense. If the ecosystem continues to see huge growth, then Chainlink is only going to benefit massively in turn. Stablecoins and their integrations with banks is another reason that we're so bullish on Chainlink. Banks have stated that they are working on their own stablecoins to be used with their own banking networks, which will use Chainlink to track the value of the dollar one-to-one. This means that a huge amount of Chainlink will be required by these parties to use their technology, which will provide a huge amount of value to the network. Stablecoins are another massive innovation that is made possible by the power of Chainlink, and the amount of use cases of stablecoins is not fully known yet. It's a fantastic way for investors to take profits into a stable asset if they want to cash out on profits of a token that has seen massive growth, since the value of a stablecoin will be pegged to a fiat currency which does not fluctuate in value. Stablecoins can also be lent on exchanges to earn very favourable yields, which is another reason to convert cash into the crypto space. Most platforms such as BlockFi or Nexo offer between 8 to 12% APR on cryptos being held on their platform. Try getting that percentage of returns on any savings account with a bank. Yield farming is another opportunity made possible by Chainlink, where users can lend their cryptos to liquidity pools for budding exchanges to use, and in return get incredibly favourable yields. Platforms such as AutoFarm offer yields as high as 3 to 4% per day, depending on the cryptos that are lent. However, this is still a highly nascent and risky opportunity to take advantage of, and doing your own research about these opportunities should always be a main priority or lending any of your cryptocurrency on any platforms. There are still many scams and rug pulls happening in the crypto space, so always be careful with who you trust. When you look at the crazy amount of not only utility, but also adoption being seen by Chainlink and its network, it's very easy to be hyper bullish on the project long term. It's likely that its integrations will continue as new projects are created using Chainlink's power. As Metcalfe's law comes into play and exponential growth starts to happen for Chainlink in the mid to long term, it's easy to see that Chainlink could hit $10,000 in the next 10 or so years. If we're estimating that the entire cryptocurrency space is going to be valued in the region of $100 trillion in the next 10 years, or more depending on the sheer scale of adoption and on-ramping of technology, then a $10,000 Chainlink is not out of the question whatsoever. In our previous Chainlink video, we mentioned that if Chainlink reached $1,000 this year, its market cap would reach $500 billion. To reach $10,000, it would need to do a 10x from that market cap, achieving a market cap of around $5 trillion. Whilst this may seem unbelievable at the current point of cryptocurrency's life cycle as a whole, with a market cap of less than $2 trillion overall, it's important to remember that the insane amount of growth that is likely to happen in the next 10 years for the whole of the space. With full mainstream adoption, the cryptocurrency space is going to see a crazy amount of appreciation, and that will include every single project that Chainlink is integrated with. Whilst price targets such as this are very unlikely in the next 5 years, in the long term Chainlink has a huge advantage to become one of the largest cryptocurrencies in the space. So what are your thoughts on Chainlink? Do you like the project, and what is your price prediction for 2021 and beyond? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below, as we'd be interested to hear your ideas about the price action of Chainlink in the future. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, you can sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, where you can get access to our private Discord. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.